Hai ba yo.
Yo.
Okay. That's the way the Vietnamese people celebrate the beer, the coffee. Welcome to our podcast. Today we will have again the first podcast with the guy from the Yoga Nest. I'm really happy having you here. Talk about the yoga and beyond yoga, and then it's the opportunity for the yoga practitioner to come with the yoga as the hobby, and then a pathway for the success. And say something with our audience who are watching us.
I'm so happy. First of all, thank you, Andy, for inviting me to the podcast. I love talking about yoga, and in particular Ashtanga Yoga, because that's my passion. Of course. So, yeah, I'm. My name is Asbjorn. It's very hard to pronounce, so my name typically become, the guy that we never remember the name of. It's a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
So Ashtanga and yoga first came to me, was in early 2009. When I first started yoga. I was introduced to yoga through work, because we had a yoga teacher that came to our office and had just like a 30-minute office yoga 2 days a week. And I had always been curious, I've always been curious, and this was kind of my opportunity to actually try out yoga for real. Right? I've been going to the gym, I've been doing karate, and those kind of sports.
What different with the weight lifting with the yoga you can share?
I really don't think the difference is as big. Maybe the big difference is to focus on the physical. Right? Because especially, bodybuilding and powerlifting, it's a lot of masculinity and it's a lot of power. But at the same time, what I found in powerlifting is very much similar to what I'm finding in yoga. Right? Because one is you get to know your body, you get to know how the breath and everything connects together with the body. And as doing powerlifting, as doing yoga, you come into a meditative.
You see the
yes. So
the common sense between that.
I see more the similarities than the differences, and maybe that is what pulled me towards powerlifting and bodybuilding, same as pulled me towards yoga. I think maybe the difference is that yoga have a little bit more spiritual elements. Moving from my powerlifting to yoga.
Does it look like a big jump?
Not really. To me, it wasn't a big jump. It looks like a big jump.
Okay, but to me, it looks like a big jump from the powerlifting guys, the masculine, the bodybuilding guys, become to the yogis, the big jump.
Yeah, I know. But to me, it was not.
Yeah.
And maybe I jumped almost straight into Ashtanga when I started.
Okay.
And Ashtanga is very dynamic. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of strength. So maybe that is the reason why I did not feel it being a big jump, because I still got to.
You have the foundation.
Flex my muscles, right?
Yeah. Okay. Later you should flex your muscle, but I strongly believe that because you have the very solid foundation from bodylifting, and you come to yoga, especially Ashtanga, they need that foundation, right?
Well, yes and no. That foundation, and that is maybe we're jumping a little bit early, too deep into the Ashtanga, but
that's okay.
To me, it's Ashtanga have been, having this reputation of being very hard, very a lot of energy,
intensity.
intensity is very high.
Yeah.
Though that can be true,
Yep.
it can also be a very relaxing and meditative
Okay.
form of yoga.
So what is
Right.
Ashtanga?
Yeah. So let me take it one step back from what is Ashtanga. I don't think there's like one answer.
Okay.
Right. And I think to a lot of people it is a little bit different. Right. So to me, Ashtanga is, it started off, going back to my journey, so it started off as something which is a little bit more physical, right? Like we were talking about my start of my Ashtanga journey.
Okay.
So it was a little bit physical in the beginning, at the same time as I started on my spiritual journey and my own transformations.
Okay.
Right? So I think when we are moving, a life of yoga, right? It starts at whatever level you are at. Right? So to some people, you just need something physical or a physical vehicle.
Okay.
To find your balance in life. And maybe as you grow in your practice, this is transforming a little bit. Right? So starting off maybe as something physical. Maybe some people start from the other end.
Yeah.
Right? But to me, it started off a little bit physical. And then you start balancing your physical body.
Yeah.
You start exploring how your physical body connects with your subtle body.
Okay.
Your energy.
I love the subtle body. Your works. Yeah.
Absolutely, me too.
Yeah.
And the longer into my journey I come, the more the focus comes to my subtle body actually.
Okay.
Right. So, and it's like, and I heard a lot of people say this, what brought me to the mat is not what kept me on the mat, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of changing all the time. And it's actually, I would say, as I grow in life, the practice supports me in that growth. So imagine that, and also when you look at the yoga sequence, right? It's like life itself. You start like the sun is you're saluting the sun, right? And you walking through the life, and then by the end of the practice, you go to savasana or corpse pose, which is like, okay, now
Look like the journey up and down, and then you still like very calm, very peaceful at the end of the day, at the end of the practice.
Yes. And that is also what this practice have been in my life, right? So you start off in your practice, and then you have some poses that you really struggle with, some asanas, right?
Okay.
And then you kind of learn. So for every time you struggle with this asana, right, you are practicing the struggles in life.
Okay.
In a way.
Okay.
So overcoming those obstacles in your life is also what you do on the mat, right?
But I think like whenever you get a struggle with any asana, any pose, any posture, this is the time to remind you to build it up and to remind you to like recharge that energy and then back again and do better the asana.
In yoga philosophy, we talk about tapas.
Oh, okay.
right? And this is what we call tapas.
Tapas.
So this struggle that you have on the mat is actually practicing to overcome your struggles
And
on the mat.
yeah.
And this is what you bring with you in life, right?
Yeah.
So when you have struggles in life, right, you practice those struggles.
You remind me about the discipline.
Yeah. The discipline.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is so you all if you listen to interviews with big people and big influencer in business, like Steve Jobs, and other big
The big guys, big face.
big faces,
Yeah, okay.
right? There is some common recommendations they have. It's like you get up 5 a.m. in the morning or 6 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
And you do your, whether it's going to the gym or you are running or you're doing yoga, you're meditating, you know, constantly do this, have the discipline, build the discipline to do this. It's also building your discipline in life, right?
Ask about discipline, and then what the benefits of disciplines into the yoga, especially in Ashtanga.
So do you mean, you know, what does discipline do to your practice?
Yes.
Yeah. So on the mat.
Okay.
Yeah. So well, I would say the yoga is building your discipline.
Yep.
More than you know, the discipline that you need to get on the mat.
Yep.
Right. Getting on the mat is first of all a habit. Of course, we can't talk about discipline without mentioning motivation. I think of motivation is going up and down. You know, one day your motivation is good, and you really want to practice, and maybe you practice for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you go on and do something else, right? But you can't rely on that motivation every day.
Agree.
So then we have to build habits, and we have to build that discipline. You know, to, you know, even if I feel down, okay, I feel down today, I have lack of energy, then the habit can save me.
Yep.
Right. And if it's really, really down, then the discipline can save me, right?
Yeah.
So get on the mat, whether it's and to myself, that does not necessarily mean that I have to do the practice with the same intensity every day.
Yeah.
But no matter how bad I feel, you know, at least get on that mat. Because if I have the discipline to get on the mat, I'm maintaining my habit.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. With less intensity, with the less powerful yoga. Okay, just do something, the sun salutation, something like that, and then you maintain your habits.
Absolutely, and that also goes as for beginners, right? Because there's a lot of beginners, and you asked me to talk about Ashtanga, and there's a lot of beginners who kind of see this practice as very high intensity, and you know, we ask people to come to the mat 6 days a week, except from the moon days, of course. And if I'm going to come on the mat like 1.5 hours every morning, it's really hard to, in the beginning, it's really hard to build that discipline. It's hard to build that habit, right? So what I typically recommend is, you know, in the beginning, you know, don't worry so much about, you know, doing the full series. Don't worry so much about doing every pose perfect, every vinyasa perfect. just get on the mat.
Yeah.
If sun salutation is all you can do that day, then get on the mat. Do the sun salutations. At least you're building discipline. You're building the habit.
Yeah.
And you overcome this need for having motivation to do stuff.
Okay. I think like motivation is the start of the thing. But to keep that journey to long lasting with you, it needs the habit and discipline. And discipline look like the up and down, can up and down, but you still keep going, keep going. Yeah. And motivation will is up, and then nothing motivate you. You go down. It's not discipline. It's not a habit.
Absolutely.
You not yet answered what is Ashtanga.
I have not answered what is Ashtanga. So, Ashtanga, so Asht means 8.
Okay.
Tanga means limbs.
Okay.
So the name Ashtanga itself stands for 8 limbs.
8 limbs. Okay.
8 limbs of yoga.
Okay.
And if you then look at the yoga philosophy and the Yoga Sutras, that is Patanjali. Right? So it's the Patanjali yoga philosophy.
Yeah.
So most people only relate Ashtanga yoga to the 3rd limb, which is the asana practice.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But to explain what is Ashtanga, maybe comparing it to other yoga styles would be a good place to sort of explain where Ashtanga is different.
Yeah.
So in Ashtanga is a hatha yoga practice.
Okay.
So it also derives from the hatha yoga. It is have 6 series. So we have primary series, which most people are exposed to.
Yeah.
Intermediate series, and then we have advanced A, B, C, and D. Where there are very few people in the world who practice.
Yeah, just some. Right?
What we so we typically start with the primary series, which is the first series, which is put together like a vinyasa type of yoga. Where all the poses are put together in a sequence that prepare you for the next, or the next gateway pose.
Okay.
And gateway poses are like the peak poses. In the
series. Some peak poses.
Yeah, and if you go to a typical hatha yoga or a vinyasa yoga class, it's often designed by a teacher who might have a purpose for that class.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they have, if that is an arm balance class, then there are some arm balance poses that you build up to.
Yeah.
And you put together this sequence to prepare you.
Yeah.
So the Ashtanga yoga sequence, all of them, primary, intermediate, A, B, C, and D, they start off with a sequence preparing you for the next gateway.
Okay.
And this gateway pose or this peak pose might be different depending on how far you have come in your practice. To some that would be the Marichyasana A, B, C, and D, which is their peak pose.
Okay.
And once those get easy, we have Bhujapitasana, Supta Kumasana, which is the next peak poses.
Yep.
That means, you start in your practice and you build it up. And you walk to get past your next gateway.
Yep.
And when you get past that gateway, and then you are ready for your next intermediate series. Right?
Yeah.
Which have a new set of new gateway or peak poses. What is special beyond these similarities is that we are doing the same sequence every day. And some people challenge me saying, well, isn't that
so boring?
I say, well, no, it's not. So what it allows me is to come deeper into my practice.
Mm.
So it's never the same. And we talked about, some days your motivation is low, other it's high.
Same but different.
Yeah, some days you are exhausted.
Yeah.
Some days you have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Some days you are flexible. Some days you are
Yes.
strong.
Yeah.
In the same sequence every day allows you is to explore these new experiences in your body, in your mind.
For
right?
me, that is signal of the patience and then discipline.
It is. And when you kind of get past, let's say that you have built this discipline, right? And you built a habit.
Yeah.
That is when you start noticing how this practice, how is this asana different today than yesterday? You know, one pose easy yesterday, today very hard.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I make this pose easier today?
Yeah.
So you kind of come into a very meditative flow, because this is really keeping you in the present.
Yeah.
It's keeping you at this current moment. You're not fluctuating. Well, of course, practice allow you to, all the way come back, pay attention, notice.
I think that the good way to do the same practice every day, like a few days, because this is a very good benchmark by yourself, with yourself.
It is.
Yeah.
And just to sort of take away this, the same thing every day. So you know what is coming next.
Yeah.
That is the difference here, right?
Yeah.
But being open to what is coming next feeling today. What are the sensations today? Where are my energy blocked today? And also what I like to, as I respond to those who say, well, the same thing every day, isn't that boring? Well, if you go to another yoga class, what is different every day? You do the same up dog, you do the same down dog, no matter what style. You do the same warrior, you do the same Urdhva Dhanurasana. The only difference is you don't know what will be in the sequence today.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's sort of mystery, a flow.
Yeah, right. So, and the same if you go to the gym.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Okay.
Discipline.
The next question is, you say like asana just a part of the asana components. So what's the other things?
So what's the other things? So you have the pranayama. You have cultivating good. Right? You have meditation and all these elements.
Yeah.
Which is a part of the Ashtanga, but it's not what you go to an Ashtanga class. It's not what you learn in that class, right? So to learn pranayama, to learn these things outside, you need to go to intensive trainings, which could be teacher trainings, Ashtanga intensives, where you are involving philosophy, you involve pranayama training, and so on. That said, I know we have one topic to discuss, which is the breath.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And breath is a very important component. Breath and bandha.
Yeah.
So let's start with the bandhas, because it's like a mysterious thing.
Yeah.
And I hear students and people are discussing this mysterious Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha and so on, right? So what I like to say about it is that it has multiple purposes. right? So when we talk about Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, it's often coming from below.
Yeah,
right?
the rooted.
It's like your root, and for those who are interested in chakras, right?
Yeah.
We are talking about root chakras and navel chakras, and right. But before we go into the more spiritual aspect of it, there is also some anatomy.
Yeah.
Right. If you do yoga, or maybe a lot of people can easily relate to the gym, right? Because if you go to the gym and you do squats, right, you also have to engage certain muscles, right? Often when we teach people to do squats, it's like breathe in and then hold your breath, and then you engage your core, right?
Engage
before
your
you
core.
do, right?
Yeah.
So the bandhas have an important role in our practice to protect our spine, as well as building energy.
Yeah, it's looking you lock something.
You lock something, yeah, and you got a point there. So that is why we also talk about chin lock, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of asanas in Ashtanga where you apply Mula Bandha lock, and then you apply a little bit chin lock, right?
Got it.
So what we are doing there is that we are capturing the energy.
Yeah.
So we are locking the energy inside to not leak out. Building energy.
Yeah.
And it's also protecting the spine at the same time.
Okay. Locking to protect, blocking for not like a bursting out. Reserve.
Maybe you notice when you do yoga yourself, sometimes you just feel that the energy is just out of your body.
And nothing in.
Nothing in, right? And then you become a little bit floppy. And you're jumping.
And you are so weak to do the next pose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the more you allow this to leak, the less endurance you find in your practice, right? So that is why the bandhas and the breath is a key component, not only in Ashtanga, but in all yoga, I think.
Yeah.
And you also might notice if you go to a led class, and after a few rounds of sun salutations or jump throughs, you get exhausted, right? And you feel that I'm not able to catch up with this, and your sweat is running, and your heart rate is increasing, right? But then if you allow yourself to remember to lock the energy in when you are doing that jump through, or when you are jumping from down dog to the front of your
jump
mat,
through, jump back,
or jumping through, right?
Yeah.
Then your endurance
still the same.
Will still
not
be the
burst
same.
out, not exhausted.
Yes. And this is also a little bit about the learning process, right? Because you need to experience this to start understanding it, and then embodying it in your practice.
That the things that I need to go to class, not by myself, because we can do something, but we don't have the technique to reserve, to lock, and then to maintain the performance during like a 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
And
that reminds me a little bit about, like most things in life. And I also have, my Buddhist teacher, he also say that, I give you knowledge, and I give you method.
Okay.
And then you have to figure out, right?
Yeah.
So you need the two components, and those two components is what a teacher can give you, right? The knowledge in yoga, that might be philosophy, it might be anatomy. Talking about the Mula Bandha, what are these mysterious muscles, or whatever it is. Some can relate it to muscles. I think it's easier, even though there's something more than anatomy. Right. And then you need the method, right? And Ashtanga is a method.
Yeah.
right? And then you need to experience.
I think that's okay.
Camera.
Okay, we can
We
start
still
with that.
have
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, and we talking about the breath. Would be talking about not yet a breath, not yet Ranayama.
Ah,
Okay, we just talking about the bandhas and the asana, and then now we're
yes.
talking about the Ranayama.
The pranayama or the breath.
Yeah.
So I would, before we get too deep into pranayama, or if we could keep it to the practice. So in the practice, the way that we are breathing, in similar to the bandhas, is allowing us to build energy, right? So that's why it's another component of your yoga practice or the Ashtanga practice. So if you are breathing out in the wrong times, right, you will get exhausted.
Yeah.
It all sticks together. So the movement and the breath have some physical limitations, right? So if you're breathing out when you're jumping forward, for example, you don't have the energy, right? Because to get the energy, you need to breathe in, right? And then you are locking that energy inside of your channels, right? Which allow you to have energy jumping forward or jumping through. Right? And the same is, if you do a forward fold and you breathe in, you have physical obstacles for that breath to come in, meaning that you're not getting full breath. Right? So that's why understanding when to breathe in, when to breathe out, and when I'm teaching my students breathing, I'm also talking about the pause or the retention of the breath, both on in and out, which gives you time. It's now we're talking a little bit, moving a little bit to the subtle body.
Okay.
Right? Of course, when you are doing your breath retention, that means breathing in, having a little pause. It doesn't mean I'm not holding the breath, right? But there's a little pause there.
It's like a soft pause.
Yeah, it's a soft pause. It's a micro pause before it turns. And change direction. And the same on the bottom, right?
Okay.
That gives you a little bit time in your poses.
Okay.
Right, to make the transitions. So that's the first.
It
gives you a little bit time. And you can notice if you try to breathe in, and when you hold your breath, it's like time stands a little bit still. Right?
Yeah. Everything paused.
Everything paused a little bit.
Even your mind, even your calmness stay.
Yes.
And then.
So it also brings that calmness to the practice, right? So it gives you time, it brings you calmness. And there is also a physical thing. So, your muscles, they need oxygen. To as energy.
Is that the oxygen better absorbed?
Yes. And you're actually, when you're breathing, you're using muscles. Right? So on the exhale, when there's a little break on the exhale, it allows these muscles. It's like if you the gym again, right? So if you go to the gym and you are pumping your biceps or you're doing your squats, you can only do so many. And then you need a break. Because the muscle need to do its exchange of toxins and get fresh oxygen to again get energy. And it's the same in your yoga practice, breathing, right? So if you are not giving your breathing muscles the oxygen they need to do their work, you will get exhausted. Right?
No, lack of oxygen.
It's like lack of oxygen. Now we're getting into an educational situation here, but
Okay.
you know, but it's when you breathe shallow or you get lack of oxygen, what happens? The blood have to pump faster to do the same job, right?
Okay.
And what happens when the blood pump faster? You get tired, right?
Yeah. Look like you're running fast, and then you need to get more oxygen, and then
you get stressed, right?
Oh yeah.
It's the same reaction as you get stressed. Your heartbeat goes up, and you get exhausted.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
yeah.
related to breathing and doing asana, how about the counting? In the Ashtanga Vinyasa, counting.
I love that question.
Yeah.
So, and you ask it in relation to the breathing, which is one part of it, right?
Yep.
So the counting is helping us making the pace in the practice. That's one side of it. And then what is also very interesting with the counting is in Sanskrit, all the vowels are vibrating your chakras. Right? So it becomes like a chanting session.
Yeah.
So when you are in a class and the teacher is counting,
opening mantra.
We do the opening mantras, and when we come to the counting, which is in Sanskrit, ekam, inhale, dve, exhale, right? So the sounds
it's a vibrate.
It creates a vibration. It creates an energy, and I would say a calm energy in a way. Right. So what I feel is a lot of the students, when they come to a led Ashtanga class, when we do Sanskrit counting, is that even though the energy level increase, right? Because we might actually see that, in the led class, they have a lot of more energy than they might have in their own daily practice, right? But at the same time, they have a lot of endurance, and that's also what a lot of students are saying. Oh, it's in the everyday, it's so hard to get through the whole practice on time and with this energy. But when they come to lead class, it's like, wow, this was so much easier than I expected. At the same time as the sweat is dripping, right?
Yeah, but I think that the one of the most of the suitable reason is that we have a community, we have the class, we have the member, and then the environment, the vibe will be increased, and then we help each other.
Yes, absolutely. That energy that you build together in the room is beautiful.
So it look like the aroma is spread away, and then that the thing related me to the next question is lead and mindful.
Yeah, that's a very good
link.
So before tapping into it, it's always a discussion in the community. I prefer lead class or I prefer Mysore style classes.
Yeah.
And I have to admit that if you asked me, or going back a few years, I was sort of avoiding the lead classes because I didn't feel they gave me much. Until I started to study with my recent teachers, which is Tim Fieldman and Kino McGregor.
Okay.
And really understanding what is a lead class.
Yeah.
Because when I went to lead classes in around Norway and the city, they never did the counting. So it was just, like any other led yoga class. So I lost that meditative sensations that you get from being in a class where, the whole class is sort of a chanting session, right? While you're doing a physical activity, which is beautiful. So the difference, we already talked a lot about what is a lead class. So typically in the lead class, the teacher will count in Sanskrit and will give easy instructions, like inhale, arms above the head, dve exhale, fold, trini inhale, head up, Chatvari exhale, Chaturanga.
Those look like the melodies.
It becomes a melody, like it's just flowing constantly. Yeah. In a Mysore class, the way that, and especially to new students in around our yoga studio in Stavanger, Norway, when they ask what is a Mysore class, I like to say that if you compare it to a private class in a group, it's pretty similar, right? So you come and you do your own practice, which is one of the sequences in Ashtanga, of course.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you come to class and you do
the vinyasa and you
flow yoga or yin yoga.
Yeah.
Right?
The look like very ridiculous.
That would, and it would also be a little bit because when you go to a Mysore style Ashtanga class, the teachers there are Ashtanga teachers.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where they have their knowledge, and this is where they can help you as a student with your transformation.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened in the Mysore class, if you are a beginner, and by the way, it's a perfect place for a beginner to start. Though I know it's very hard for a beginner to start their yoga journey 6 a.m. in the morning without with so much attention. So, but what typically happens is that you start your yoga practice and you are given or you are taught until a certain point, right? And when you are ready to move to the next poses, then the teacher will, give you thorough instructions, help you, assisting you, where you have your challenges, obstacles, or where we see that the student need teaching.
Okay.
Right? When you go to a lead class, any type of yoga, you as a student become like one out of many. There's no private follow of you as a student. So this is what you get in your Mysore class. Right? It's you as a student, it's your journey, it is your progress that matters.
Okay.
It's not for the teacher to flex off teaching skills or test out some new flows.
You own your way, you own your mat, and you own your journey, and then you do by yourself.
Yes.
totally
and
in it.
Yeah, and some people, they and especially in today's society, when we are, most of us sit with an office desk,
Yes.
right? And we might have different backgrounds, right? So some people, they might have knee problems, right? Some people might have back problems.
Yeah.
Some have a stiff hamstring.
Yeah.
Some have, a stiff neck.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? We have, and we talked about this in the beginning of this podcast. Every, you have your obstacles.
Yeah.
That you practice to overcome.
Okay.
Right? So do all the students. So then we can sort of focus on what is your next obstacle here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help you find your way past your obstacle.
Okay.
Or past your challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Whether those are breathing patterns, whether it's stiff hamstring or over flexible hamstring. Right?
Over flexible hamstring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's actually also common.
Yeah.
Some people are very flexible.
Yeah.
But they might lack the strength.
Okay.
To have a safe practice.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it still a problem? Yeah.
Well, it might not. I don't like to see it as problems.
Yeah.
But what we are doing in the practice is we try to balance, create a balance in the physical body.
Yeah.
We try to build a balance in your mental body, your subtle body.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what kind of yoga is about.
Yeah, it's a balance. It looks like
it's building a balance,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And it never stops. Right?
Okay.
It's like, if you have tight hips, right, and you've been working on those for a while, there's somewhere else to work on when your hips are open, right?
Yeah. And that also related to another question, a following question, like how the yoga in general and Ashtanga yoga apply that, practice that, like that principle in daily life.
That was a very smooth transition. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
you need to break coffee over there.
Yeah, I just needed, even though it was a smooth transition, I sort of had to think a little bit. So I think we already tapped into a little bit about in the beginning what is Ashtanga, and we started talking about you practice your obstacle on the mat, which prepare you to overcome obstacle elsewhere in your life.
Yeah.
Right. So we have that part of the practice.
Yeah.
Where you are actually so I heard some commentaries on tapas and on Yoga Sutras, where they talk about burning the seed, right? So if you have a seed that grows to grass or flowers or fruits, right? So if you burn that seed, it's still a seed.
Yeah.
But it's not growing. It's not growing.
Yeah.
Right. So similarly, when we talk about obstacles in life or challenges that we might have, right? The more we practice them, the more we burn the seed.
Okay.
The less attached we become to allowing this seed to grow into problem or into drama or challenges in life. So when we step on the mat and we meet, a tight hamstring or we really want to do this kapotasana, or we really want to get our arms around the knee and bind in Marichyasana D, right? So the more we practice it, of course, the better we become.
Yeah.
But also, the more we let go of striving.
Okay.
Right? The less emotional attached we get to. It's like in the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm so sad, or I'm so annoyed because I'm not able to bind my hands.
Yeah.
Right? But when you've done it for a few times, it's like, okay, I didn't catch my hands in the bind.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's right? Okay.
The same in life.
Yeah,
I come to the meeting and at the office, and I didn't deliver my best presentation. It's like, okay.
That's okay. It's time to move.
It's okay.
Move on.
It's not ruining life, right?
Yeah,
It was just.
Okay.
So we are burning that seed. That is one thing. We also have the physical balance, right? So to live a healthy life, not just mentally but also physically, right? So if you move, and especially today when we are in the office chairs all day, or on the motorbike here in Vietnam all day, stop using our legs.
You enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
You still enjoy that? Okay.
I enjoy it.
Good to hear that. Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm here, I have to remind myself to use my legs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But this is also building a balance in our body.
Yeah.
Right. We talked about the breathing. Building a balanced breathing pattern.
Okay.
Is also something that building a physical balance. The body is one thing. Staying healthy, staying mobile.
Yeah.
Allow you to move around more.
Okay.
Keep your.
Yeah.
Especially as you grow a little bit older, then
you still move.
You still move, right?
Still move.
And if you don't move, that's not a problem, right? Because we learned that in the practice. That,
okay.
We can't move today. It's okay. But it also does something with your cell reproduction.
Okay.
Right. Now we get really into the anatomy.
Okay.
But you need to, as a human being, you need to renew your cells. Right? Proper breathing patterns, create balance in oxygen and uptake and CO2 discharge, which you need, right? Means getting rid of toxin, getting fresh oxygen to your cells, help you renew yourself. Keep you healthy, keep you from having flu and colds or the consequences of them, right? So because you can renew.
Okay. So is that exactly the name of Ashtanga? Like you have a like principle in life, and then whenever, like every day when you comes up with everything struggle, everything barrier, something like that, you just remind by yourself by like the rules and the philosophy, like a.
So you some do that. I might do that, right? I might if I meet something in the daily life, then I might think about some philosophical principles or something. But more than that, for the average people, whether the yoga interest is very high or very low or just average, I think what it does is you get to the office, you are prepared for your day at the office. You're prepared for your day with your family or friends. So it's kind of preparing you for the day to come. So that's why the morning practice to me is so important. It prepare me. Prepare me for life. Prepare me for the day.
Yoga is the only sport, like a sport, to reserve the energy.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's kind of like a strange because it's physical, right?
Yeah.
And if you go to the gym, it's like the trainer will whip you. You know.
Yeah.
Get exhausted, right?
Yeah, okay.
Whereas in yoga, even though Ashtanga have high intensity, what we try to teach the student is, to have an effortless practice.
Yeah.
Right. So, and to the topic, what it does in your everyday life, that kind of meet very well with your everyday life, right?
Yeah,
so even though you have a struggle, right, you learn to you learn to be effortless in that situation,
and maintain the stamina over the day,
over the time, over the day, over the practice.
Move another topic about okay, I see that yoga and especially Ashtanga yoga is like a the hobby, but more than the beyond the hobby, that can be the opportunity to earn money.
To earn money,
And then you need to establish the career roadmap with the Ashtanga. So say with us about the roadmap to become the Ashtanga yoga teacher.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the typical thing that we hear when I think this topic cannot be discussed without well, yoga should be free. It's for everyone, right?
I don't think so.
So, but that is a very typical statement that you meet, and you meet it with we meet it with students, we meet it with people on the street, other yoga teachers, and like my teachers say, if yoga should be free, then my house should be free, my food should be free, right? It's just not possible. Industry, the yoga industry is actually huge. We're talking about 300 billion a year worldwide, which is a huge industry. Yeah. Now, to have to sustain a yoga service for people,
we can say like a yoga business.
Yeah, or for if you and me and other people want to have yoga, right? We have to accept that if it's going to be sustainable, we have to pay for the yoga. Definitely. If no one pays for it, there will be no yoga. Right. So it's kind of going to sort of die out.
Yeah, right? I think that yoga is a service. Is a kind of the service.
It's a service, and like anything else, quality comes at a cost. Right. So the journey to start a yoga career, of course, start with your own yoga practice. Right. So most yoga schools will require that you have had a practice before you sign up for the class. So since we offering Yoga Alliance certified trainings, I will relate it to the model of Yoga Alliance. So they have you have 200-hour teacher trainings or yoga intensives. That would kind of be the first step. Then you have 300 hours teacher trainings and yoga intensive, which is like the next year of college, right?
Yeah, okay. It's a net gateway, you said.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would say then, even after finishing this, it's important to stay up to date. It's like any other industries, right? So choose to take an education as a yoga teacher. You know that if the school have our Yoga Alliance approved, you know that there are someone who actually assess their training program and approve of it.
Okay.
And to do for them to approve it, it has to have a certain content.
Yep.
So it's not like a yoga school can just invent something on their
just
own
one day and become the school.
Yeah. So it means that they have to go through and have their program assessed by Yoga Alliance.
Okay.
So as a student, that is kind of something to look for. Now, there are other institutions or other organizations that do certifications, but they are not Yoga Alliance approved. They are typically their own branch or their own style of a specific type of yoga.
Okay.
Now, it can always be, but I know that there's a lot of studios who require their students to, or sorry, not their students, their employees or their teachers. So if it's not Yoga Alliance approved, they don't consider them because then they do not know, the quality of the teacher.
Okay.
I also the same goes for, if your dream is to be a traveling yoga teacher and teach with resorts and guest workshops at different studios, it's also a quality stamp, right? Because whoever is buying your service know that, okay, you have had your training with a approved school. So we know that there is a certain level of professionality that comes with it. What I do not hear emphasized enough is to be a Yoga Alliance accredited teacher. It also requires you to keep up to date. When you do a certification or take a certification and you apply for Yoga Alliance certificate after completion, then this is valid for 3 years. Or during the 3 years, you do have to have continuous education. So you submit the teaching hours to them, you submit your training hours to them, and that allow whoever hire your service or come to your classes, they know that, okay, this teacher is staying up to date. This teacher is serious about their profession.
It's our flexing time. Say something about the yoga nest.
Yeah. So at the Yoga Nest, we started a little more than a year ago by my wife and myself. And what we want to do is to bring opportunities for our students, meaning our students at the studio. So we have a boutique studio. I can tell a little bit more about what is the difference between a boutique studio and a more conventional yoga studio. So conventional yoga studios, you will it could be at the gym, for example, right? They might have classes where you have 20, 30, 40 students and one teacher, right? That does not allow the teacher to follow up their students, and it does not allow the student to have a personalized experience. This is what we are trying to achieve in our yoga offerings. That goes for students who come to our studio to practice. You know, we want them to have a personalized experience. We want to be a part of their journey, wherever that might take them.
Okay.
Right? So we try to build a community where they have the support to evolve.
Yeah.
Now we also offer 200 hours teacher training. We offer 300-hour teacher training. We offer continuous education. All our workshops and everything that we do is built around our passion to follow our students on their journey and to support them on the journey.
And you have an app.
We also have an app.
I think the good way to give them a chance to keep practicing. Yeah.
And you know, to start off, that app started as you know, when we felt that the students are coming and we see that the student needs. We talked about in the beginning of the interview. We talked about how knowledge and method is what kind of bring you to your experience, right?
Yeah.
So we felt that, oh man, when we see students, there's so many things that we learned in our journey with our teachers that we want to provide an opportunity for our students to learn. So that's actually where the app also came in to the picture. We saw that, oh, we need to offer some online courses and some video courses that brings this knowledge and brings the method to the students.
I think ecosystem.
Yeah. I like that word. It's like an learning ecosystem. So we do the same with the teacher training. We want what we aim to do with our teacher training students is also to, you know, bring them into a part of this ecosystem and to be a part of their journey. So that's why we didn't just want to have like a 200-hour training and a 300-hour training. We want to offer something more. Right? So that's why we also offer continuous education, and now we also want to I don't know the right word for it, but we would like to see students that we are training to come on and sort of like an exchange program. You know, not just coming because we didn't talk much about it, but when it comes to teaching, there's so many things that comes into the play. You know, the experience that you have, the opportunity to practice adjustments on different type of students, different type of bodies, and that is something we want to, you know, build and be a part of for our students. So that whole community is something that we want to be a part of.
So the next question is like you said something about the internship. Okay, I'll jump in the question of internship. Share something about the plan. Do you want to build up the awareness in Vietnam footprint?
Yes, absolutely. So it all comes to, you know, we love Vietnam.
Yeah, because your wife is Vietnamese.
And my wife is Vietnamese, and I probably want to become Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I lack a little bit on the language, so I'm far from. But yeah, we see in Vietnam that there's already a lot of yoga here, right?
Yeah.
What we have not seen so much of here is a growing Ashtanga community,
Exactly.
and this type of what I call boutique yoga, right? So this personalized way of teaching yoga, this personalized way of learning yoga, is something that we see a huge opportunity for here in Vietnam. So yeah, we want to come and spread this to Vietnam as well.
Okay, I'm very excited to see the footprint of the yoga nest in Vietnam. Any chance for students to get the course from the yoga nest, and then any chance for come to Norway to have an internship?
Yes. So
Like me.
like you, yes. You're welcome to Norway anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are planning now to have our first teacher training here in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward to do that.
Yep.
And what we hope is that when we finish this teacher training with students here in Vietnam, that we can create an opportunity for us and for students to apply for an internship and come to Norway, experiencing how it is to build this yoga community.
Faster is exchanging the knowledge, experience together in somewhere in Vietnam, somewhere in Norway. Share something to inspire our audience, look like especially Vietnamese yogi who want to take the Ashtanga is like inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I'm not a master. I'm just like any other people. Yeah, so I hope this whole interview have been an inspiration to whoever wants to learn Ashtanga here in Vietnam. I think it's a huge topic that we can discuss for hours. What I think is, the most inspiring thing with Ashtanga is that it's not only a exercise. It becomes a community. It becomes a way of living a healthy and good life. So Ashtanga is really building your stamina.
Okay.
Right? It builds your stamina not only in but it also builds your professional stamina.
Yeah.
Professional life.
On behalf of the DONS, we really thanks everyone who watching us to see something inspiring things about the yoga, about how we can grow with the yoga, especially with Ashtanga. And then we are waiting for the next project from the yoga nest in Vietnam. Namaste. Namaste. Yeah.